Hi guys, back again to do a quick video. Well, it might not be so quick, but I'm going to try and keep it quick. Picked up a few things, and I want to try and keep this doing a video on a weekly basis up, because I think the next few weeks I'm probably not going to be able to, depending on time constraints at work. So I've got the day off today and I've picked up a few things, so I thought I'd show them. One of the first things, this is one of the Black Friday releases. This is, I'm not sure how you pronounce her name, but she is, I can't remember where she's from now, Sri Lankan maybe. But it's a collection of songs that were recorded, I think, a long time ago, that the Flaming Lips had somehow discovered and kind of produced. But this is fantastic. It's on red vinyl. It actually sounded a bit crackly, but I don't know whether that's because of the quality of the original recordings or whether it just needed a bit of a clean. But yeah, it's a collection of kind of Christmas melodies that have been played in a kind of jazzy style on the piano and then produced by the Flaming Lips. And this is really good. As far as Christmas album goes, this is my new favourite Christmas album. There's not really any singing on it. There's a couple of bits that has vocals, but for the most part it's just instrumentals. But really good. If you've not heard this and you fancy listening to something else this Christmas, definitely check that one out. The other Black Friday release that I picked up is this one, which is the Grateful Dead live in Houston, Texas. Was it? Yeah, 72, November 72. I've only listened to half of this so far, but it's been really good as well. Pressing is lovely. I think it's an RTI pressing, which I know you guys stateside always go on about. But yeah, like I said, I've only listened to the first maybe third of this, but what I've heard so far, it sounds really good. They were the only two UK record store day things that I really wanted, and I managed to get them both, so I'm pleased with that. Another album I've picked up recently is this one, which is the Animated Egg. Now, I first saw this in the VC a long time ago. Who was it that showed it? Oh, my mind's gone blank. I can't remember now. But it wasn't this pressing, it was a different one that had this swirly pattern over the whole sleeve. This is on that budget marble arch, and is a kind of Jerry Cole, who was a kind of session musician who was basically paid to write loads of stuff. He would come up with 2 or 3 albums a week, I think, sometimes, or even a day. I think apparently he would write tunes and get bands together, especially for these kind of budget labels. They would apparently do you know, a big song would hit the charts, and they would get a band to do a cover version of it that they could release cheap, and then they would get Jerry Cole to basically write the rest of the album to slap on it as well. And apparently this is Jerry Cole. I don't know whether this band photo is actually anything to do with the Animated Egg, or whether it's just a random photo. but this is really good. Bizarrely, one of the tracks, possibly this one here, Tia Morrow, sounds exactly like one of the songs out of the Blues Brothers. But yeah, this is really good, really good. Instrumental, kind of psychedelic instrumental. A bit of surf guitar in there. What else? Oh, this is something that I've had for a long time, but I finally decided to sell on eBay. Which is The Contours, Do You Love Me? It's an original pressing on the Oriole label. This album is £250 album, but unfortunately when I stumbled across this a long time ago, it didn't have the right record in the sleeve. It had a Realm Jazz, which is like a budget jazz label, Errol Garner album in it. So I've stuck this on eBay, starting price 99p, and just see what happens. There's a few people watching it already, so I don't know. I've never tried selling just an empty sleeve before, so even if it sells at 99p, I've still doubled my money, so it's fine. Picked up a few albums in charity shops today. One by a band called Jellyfish that looked quite interesting, but I gave it a quick spin, and actually it came out in 1990, I think, was it? 1990 on the Charisma label, so I thought possibly, but it does look a bit dodgy. It looks like that kind of big hatted psychedelic throwback, but what it sounds like is the musically it sounds like one of those kind of musical interludes out of Friends, so I wasn't really too stricken with it. If anybody knows anything about this, it's got a terrible cover, Animal Logic, but then I noticed on the back it has Stuart Copeland, who I think was in The Police, and Stanley Clarke, and Deborah Holland, who I'm not. She looks familiar, but I don't recognise her. So I bought it, and it was 20p or something, just to see what it was like. And this one looked quite interesting as well. Garland Jeffries, Don't Call Me Buckwheat. Had a kind of cool cover. Again, this came out in 91. The back cover isn't quite as inspiring, but I'll give it a whirl. I've not listened to that yet. The other thing I did this morning was tried to catch up with my book. I can't remember where I'd got to last time. I'd definitely shown the Nectar, hadn't I, in Gong's Angel Egg. So we've got the Faust tapes, which was pretty simple to do. Death from Above. Grateful Dead's Live Dead, which I'm pleased with, that came out well. Cat Stevens. And then again another Cat Stevens, Tea for the Tillerman. Oh, that was the Flaming Lips cover version of Sergeant Pepper. Electric Flag. It was tricky to do. I didn't really enjoy doing that, and it's not turned out very well. And the last one I did this morning, which I'm really pleased with, is Hawkwind Space Ritual. So that's that kind of up to date. And finally, when I was in one of the charity shops this morning, there was 2 boxes of cassettes. So if you're not into cassettes, I generally just buy cassettes because I've only got a cassette player in the car. I had a look through, and there was a lot of good stuff in it. So I thought whatever I can fit into the smallest box, I would take. And she charged me, I think, 5p each for the tapes. Plus they came in like one of these old style boxes. So I'll go through them quickly and show you what I got. Double play of Trespass and Foxtrot. Creedence Pendulum and their debut album. Willie and the Poor Boys and Mardi Gras, which I think is possibly a live album. Neil Young's Zuma. Comes a Time. Harvest. Kind of Captain Beefheart, compilation. Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant. I should listen to that at Thanksgiving. Deep Purple's Made in Japan. Best of the Band. Roy Harper. Which one's that? Oh, Bull in the Ming Vase. Mamas and the Papas Greatest Hits. Two Velvet Underground. Loaded in Nico. Joni Mitchell's Miles of Isles, which I think is another live one. A Birds compilation. Rick Wakeman compilation. Michael Naismith. Yeah, what's it called? From a Radio Engine to the Photon Wing. Right, we got Stage by Bowie. Diamond Dogs. Aladdin Sane. Low. And Lodger. These are all original cassettes, I think, as far as I know. Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones. End of the Century by the Ramones. Astral Weeks, there was a few Van Morrisons. Moondance. Live at the Grand Opera House in Belfast. Common One. Beautiful Vision. And Inarticulate Speech of the Heart. There's all of Van Morrison's, and then there's the Doors, Best of the Doors, Volume 2. And then some Dylan, Highway 61 Revisited, which I think I maybe already have. Blonde on Blonde. Desire. And finally, one of my favourites, Bringing It All Back Home. So that was my, I think for all those cassettes and the case, she charged me £3. So I was quite pleased with that. So that'll keep me listening in the car for a while. So yes, that's 14.5 minutes. Good to see so many people making videos recently. Fred's thread certainly pulled a few out of the woodwork. Yeah, so hi everyone. Thanks for watching, and love to hear your comments.